Yep, I think it's going. Good morning, everybody. This is Sally. I'm coming to you as Steve drives the car through Camelford, which is an interesting little. There's a river, the Camel River, and I need to stop. I need to have internet long enough to look up the whole story on camel, because every time you hear a word, it's not necessarily what we think. It means something else from the Cornish original, whatever that is. But we drove through this town, and on the top of the highest building, they have a weather vane as you're driving down the main street, and at the very top there's this camel. So I'm thinking, well, I wonder if there is a camel connection, or if they're just playing on that. Anyway, as usual, I digress. This is, what day is this?
Wednesday.
It's Wednesday morning. We are headed south to St. Michael's Mount, which is a National Trust property that was at one point either a monastery or an abbey, and then it's very historic. It's very old. But the point is, it's out in the middle of the ocean, not too far, but far enough so that you either have to take a ferry if it's high tide, or if it's low tide, which is our plan, you can walk across the floor of the ocean, basically on a causeway, and walk to the Mount St. Michael's, which is way the heck up high. And there's a building, but it's, you got to walk up a bunch. So anyway, I will show you some of those pictures later. But we're headed, that's about an hour and a half south of where we've been staying, which has been absolutely heaven. And I wanted to talk about an epiphany I had yesterday morning, and I haven't had a chance to share with you yet. All the stress last week about the thought that we won't be here long enough. Don't you know? No comments from the man driving the car. All right, no grumble, no noises. Be quiet. I'm pretending you're not here. This is supposed to be my private video time. Anyway, and I'm sorry it's moving, but there's not much I can do about it because we're in the car, driving through some little hamlet. Yeah, when you're in England and there's one lane road, you have to stop and pull over and wait. They're supposed to stop. Well, they stopped. Now we can move again. Okay, anyway, you have to take turns going down the road. Anyway, the epiphany I had was, I'm sitting at breakfast yesterday morning, and we've driven all over, and we've done some things, and actually I really loved where we stayed. I cannot say enough about the place I stayed. It was absolute heaven. It was Lower Trustmorn Farm. It's a National Trust property where they lease the land from the National Trust. They've had a farm. They do sheep and cows, and they have land, and it's on National Trust. Basically, you could say it was national park property in a way, if you were in the States. And you can live there and you can work the land, and they have this fabulous 15th century farmhouse, which you will see more pictures of, and which is where we stayed. And you could walk down the lane to the cliffs, through the sheep fields, just like rambling, and you could walk, although there's something called a coastal walk, and you could walk miles and miles and miles, which of course we did not get to do, but we were busy running around doing so many other things. But I will go back. But the point being, in that space, in that building, near the ocean, I don't need to get in the ocean. I just like to be near it. I like to see the cliffs. I like to see the hills. I like to see the animals. I like to feel the breeze. It's just so fabulous. And I'm sitting at breakfast, and all of a sudden it dawned on me. Here I go. What is this, 4 minutes in? I'm finally getting to the point. And don't go, There's no place like home. I had like a Dorothy moment. I had a red click your shoes together, heels together moment. There's no place like home. And I don't feel this owner's burden to see all of Europe now, so that if people say, what did you see when you were over there? Because for me, much like Dorothy, she thought there was something bigger and better out there, and she kept seeking. And it's good to be an adventurer, but it's also better to realize that there's no place like home. And home, what's home in my heart, what's home for me, in my psyche and what makes me who I am, what floats my boat, what fills my empty cup, where I find my bliss is connecting with places simple, still, natural, stone cottages, beams overhead, scenery, and the ocean crashing, and the black craggy cliffs, and the green hills above, and the sheep in the field, and the small little village that you discover that has awesome Cornish ice cream, or a pub out of the way that has phenomenal Cornish ale. Any of those little moments. It's the little moments. That's my home. And those little moments can be anywhere. And especially if you have eyes to see those little moments. And for me, the environment on the coast of Cornwall, actually Cornwall is pretty much all coast. It's just a county, but anyway, there's so much to it. There's a mystique here. There's an aesthetic here. It's just a quality of life and a simple thing, and it's like that, I'm sure, in parts of Wales that we've visited, in the Cotswolds. Basically, I know what turns me on, and it's not a big city, and it's not a lot of hoo-ha, and it's not flashing lights, and it ain't Vegas, and it's not New York, and it's not even London. For me, it's connecting with the beauty of the surroundings, the natural surroundings, and the stunning handiwork of, I want to believe, a divine creator who let it all hang out and made the world, because this is it for me. To see, like I'm seeing now, just the hedgerows and the hills and the green fields and the trees and the lushness, that's it. There isn't anything better than this for me. I don't need to go to Kathmandu or Thailand or even places in Europe to find what I found already. And I feel such a relief not to worry about getting everywhere I thought I needed to get before I went back to the States. That's not important to me anymore. What's important is the quality moments I spend embracing what I know already feeds my soul. And I don't have to go to another continent to find another little village in another place in another country to find the same peace that I can find here already. Doesn't mean I wouldn't like to go, and may still get, to some of the places I intended to see, but I don't feel this inordinate pressure to do it anymore. I mean, Ireland would be fine, but I can't imagine, even though I know it's a little different, that it's going to feed me any more than this. And it may get there. I know I will go to Tuscany because I want to see something about Tuscany. And I will do that next October. I will sign up for that cooking class that's like a week long, that you ramble and you cook, and it's maybe 750 pounds, and it's the flight, and it's everything, and it will just be me, and I will just go next October. I will go to Paris, I expect, because my daughter's visiting, and I'm sure we will be going to Paris. But that's next spring, and I have time to plan for that. I will definitely go to see the Greek Isles somehow or other with my husband, because that is one of our things that we both want to see. So somewhere I will see Greece on the coastline. The rest is gravy. I would like to see Scotland, and everything else basically is within this country. I want to see the Lake District and the Yorkshire Dales and the North Yorkshire coast. I want to see more of Wales, and then I just want to spend time in places that feed my soul. So it's not about everything. It's about the best things for you. So I invite you to think about finding your own bliss, finding your own joy, and when your pressure gets to builds up too much, what is it? What is it that pressure is trying to show you? There's a weak link somewhere, or you wouldn't feel the pressure. So kind of do a little self-examination and see what really matters. And I hope that you will also discover there's no place like home, and home can be a lot of different things based on who you are. I thank Steve for being patient with me, mostly this week, and and traveling with me and being my driver. I know he feels like a chauffeur some days, but even though things are close in England, and they are physically close, short distances, it does take much longer to get a place than you think. Yesterday we went, was it 30 miles away? Not even 30 miles away? And it was an hour to get there. But not because of traffic, just because the roads are small and they're not like big freeways all the way from one point to another point. And that's part of living here. So, and that is part of the charm. That's part of the charm. The road not taken, or the back road taken, or the single track road taken where you're holding your breath that something's not coming at you 50 miles an hour the opposite direction is going to smack right into you. Especially when you're in an American car and I'm on the side where the other car was going to hit first. Anyway, you guys make it a great day, and I hope you're checking my pictures out on Facebook. I will probably be posting a lot on another link online when I get home and get them sorted on the computer. But it's been a wonderful few days, and just feel really, really peaceful. We'll see you later.